Hello, welcome to this update. So let's see what's happening. We have a very busy pattern these next few days, so let's try to break down what will happen a little bit faster than yesterday. They spent 50 minutes talking. So let's see first the severe weather. What's happening? So there's a slight risk for parts of Louisiana, Texas, and southern Arkansas, and a marginal all the way to Nebraska. So let's see. Tornado threat is a 5% around Louisiana and Texas and southern Arkansas, and a 2% all the way into Iowa. So be aware in all of those areas of the tornado threat. Wind threat is 15 and 5% as well. And yeah, so be careful, especially the 15%, and hail is less than 5%. A storm or two in the northwest and more storms in the green. So risk of a couple of tornadoes and damaging winds forecast this afternoon and evening, parts of East Texas into Louisiana and vicinity. So be careful in those areas. Have plenty of alerts and everything. So let's just see the her here, what it's thinking. So southeast maybe. So to see like eastern Texas, Louisiana. So we have the line of storms there. There in Texas, we have a bunch of warnings now, and especially earlier today we had some tornado warnings, and but let's see now. So it shows the line of storms keep moving through Arkansas, eastern Texas, and Louisiana. Shows later this evening, this afternoon, some bigger storms, Louisiana and Texas, as you can see, especially in Louisiana there, some more storms, southern Arkansas. There can be some damaging winds and some tornadoes. Those storms did this keep moving, and throughout the night still shows the line of storms keeps going through like western Louisiana, some more rain throughout the night. There's the Gulf moisture from Sarah that will join with it. Shows more showers and storms tomorrow, Tuesday, throughout Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, into Florida. Shows some heavy rain there into northern Florida and southern Alabama tomorrow. So be aware in those areas. Here there's like does have like the max wind gusts, so it does have some, especially in Oklahoma, Texas, and some areas, but it does have some gusty winds near Louisiana. But let's see here, like the wind. So it shows stronger into those storms. You can see those reds where the line of storms is at. Then it moves along there, and a little bit more calm weather behind it. So yeah, and Cape shows more Cape in the Gulf. This instability might help the storms near southern Louisiana, but there's barely any instability to the north of it there. So yeah, and let's see the whole area. So there's this big low pressure system going off there. There's still a lot of wind energy, wind shear with this to help with the tornado threat. And let's see here if it has something for like the tornado parameters. So the her here, let's see severe weather. So at, there in the south, it does have some parameters around Texas, eastern Texas, some significant tornado parameters, but doesn't have anything that crazy. But like later today, eastern Texas and Louisiana, some more tornado parameters there, and then later it starts dissipating throughout the night. But be aware, those areas not way into like Kansas, Missouri, especially like southern Arkansas there, and Louisiana and Texas. So be aware, and the updraft helicity does show until Tuesday. Let's see the severe storms. There are mainly in Louisiana, some stronger storms in Louisiana, a finger or two in Kansas, but more in southern Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana. So stay safe there. So let's see tomorrow. The severe weather does show marginal from Louisiana to Florida Panhandle, parts of Mississippi and Alabama. Tornado threat is 2% there in parts of the Gulf tomorrow, so be careful of tornado potential. Wind 5% and hail less than 5%. So thunderstorms associated with isolated severe gusts, perhaps a tornado will possibly cause parts of central Gulf states on Tuesday. So be aware. Wednesday still a marginal parts of North Carolina and South Carolina, just 5% probabilistic, and some general storms to green. So isolated severe storms will develop Wednesday across parts of the Carolinas, pose risk for severe wind gusts. So be aware there Wednesday. Day 4 through 8 still nothing. So fire we have no critical today, but tomorrow there's an elevated parts of California and parts of South Dakota and Nebraska. Be aware there, and with the fires that happened in New Jersey and other. And let's see what else is happening. So there's that severe weather in the yellow and heavy rain, and the storms in the green and rain there. A mixed precipitation or two, the northeast, but shows a lot of snow in the northwest there, like some heavy snow, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, Montana, and those areas, and shows snow all the way into California there. Day 1 shows day 2 some heavy snow in North Dakota into Canada, and there in Washington and in Oregon, Northern California. So be aware this for Tuesday. And some snow in Colorado, Utah to Montana, some snow for probabilities. And day 3, the real big day in parts of California and Oregon shows more. Some heavy rain in California, some heavier snow in the mountains of Oregon, Northern California, some heavy snow in Washington still, and heavy snow in northern Idaho and Oregon, those areas. Does show some mixed precipitation array across the east, and some snow in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Iowa, in those areas. So be aware. And yeah, excessive rainfall is a slight risk array for today into tonight. So this array, no, this until Tuesday morning. So does show a slight risk, Louisiana and Mississippi, and a marginal in Kansas and Nebraska, and a marginal from Texas to Alabama. So be careful there with the heavy rain, flash flood potential. Day 2 a slight from Louisiana to Florida. Be careful there, especially Tuesday tomorrow. Some heavier downpours there in the Gulf, so be careful. And a marginal around it, and a marginal from Washington to California. And day 3 Wednesday, a slight in Northern California, Southern Oregon, and a marginal California and Oregon. So be careful with the heavy rain there, some flash flooding. And day 4 is already a moderate, so Northern California, a moderate and a slight around it, including Oregon, a marginal from California to Washington, and a marginal in New York, parts of Vermont and Massachusetts. So be aware there, but especially in that moderate with flooding northern California, be prepared there for heavy rain. Day 5 still a slight for Friday in California and a marginal, so be careful there. Their precipitation forecast here, so this is, I don't know why it says Tuesday day 1, but it's okay. So like a lot of rain, close to 3 inches in a spot or two, and that like very bright orange is even close to 5 inches. So be aware, Louisiana, a spot or two of 4.5, almost 5 inches in the Gulf, northern Florida, and like the Panhandle and more throughout Alabama, Mississippi. So BR does show a field of heavy rain, northern Minnesota too. There might be snow, but yeah, in mainly rain. Shows more rain throughout Minnesota and Iowa and other areas until the east. Day 2 for Wednesday to Thursday shows close to 5 inches in the spot or two of Northern California, and some spots there 4 inches, 5.5 in a spot or two. In Southern Oregon, close to like 3-4 inches there. Washington as well shows some more rain across the east from Florida to Pennsylvania, some more general rain. And day 3 shows still in Northern California some 5 inches in a spot or two, and like in general a lot of areas 3 to 4 inches, many areas in Northern California, Southern Oregon there for Thursday to Friday, and still more rain across the northeast. And Friday to Saturday still some like 3 to 4 inches near parts of California, Friday to Saturday, and Saturday to Sunday still some more rain near California, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. And day 6 next Sunday to next Monday, still a little bit of rain in California and Oregon. So all the way to Southern California, some showers there later next weekend. Day 7, still some rain in California there. So day 1 through 7 shows some 15 to 20 inches, like 16, 17 inches from all these 7 days in Northern California. So don't worry, because all this won't fall in one day. But the worst days, like 5 to 6 inches, will be between Wednesday and Friday. But yeah, be careful there with all that heavy rain. Be careful with flooding and like some heavy snow in the mountains. Shows a lot in the Gulf too, from this and Marcos, Washington, and Oregon, and some areas. So be aware there. Excessive and snowfall for Monday to today shows more snow, Washington and Oregon, those areas there of the mountains. Day 2, Tuesday, shows more snow, North Dakota, Minnesota, more throughout Washington, Oregon, Northern California. Wednesday shows more Northern California, some heavier snow, a finger or two in Minnesota and the Dakotas, but more heavier like throughout in Idaho, Mont not Montana, like northwestern Montana and northern Washington and Oregon. Day 4, still some snow across West Virginia and New York, a finger or two more across the east. Day 5, so day 4 is like Thursday to Friday. Day 5 is Friday, shows some more like in West Virginia, more throughout the northwest all the way to California. Next Saturday and Sunday shows more across the west again, and some snow in the north. And next Sunday and Monday shows more there across California all the way into Washington, and more snow or two in the north. So be aware there. The hazards still, day 3 through 7 shows that heavy precipitation, heavy snow in the northwest, some severe. I don't know if this is updated because it still shows severe weather there, but yes, some areas of heavy rain in the south, in the plains, and some higher winds. And day 8 through 14, the below average temperatures, the heavy snow, and yeah, I showed you this yesterday. And there's this map here for like snowfall probability, so 66 hours accumulation until like Thursday. So they do have some probabilities all the way to 60 inches in Northern California, some mountains. So be careful, those mountains of Northern California, they might be close to 40, 50, even 60 inches. Shows more North Dakota, Minnesota, some spots close to 18 to 12 to 15 inches in northernmost North Dakota. Shows still that doesn't show there for West Virginia, but shows us snow through Pennsylvania, West Virginia, shows more in Colorado, some, and a lot across Washington and Oregon and Idaho. So be careful in all those mountainous areas there. Close to 70 inches in a spot or two southern Washington. So be careful there. And the alerts, we have a bunch of stuff. So there's like freeze warnings, Central California to Northern California, cold weather advisories, the mountains there in Central Northern California, some winter storm warnings, parts of Washington and Oregon and Northern California, and some like some in northwestern Wyoming, northeastern Idaho, some parts, some winter weather advisories in the purple, some parts of Montana, Wyoming and Idaho. So be aware, show some in Oregon too, some winter storm watches in central northern Washington, and yeah, even some small freeze watches for south central California. Wind advisories there. Wind advisories all the way from New Mexico to Missouri. Wind warnings in Texas too, and some wind advisories in Illinois and northern Minnesota. So be aware there, some wind advisories near the Gulf, some flood watches there, and some flood watches in California already. We have the blizzard warnings eastern Alaska, western Alaska, and northern Alaska, winter weather advisories there. So be aware, if you click on blizzard warning, you can see the information in Alaska, where, when, and the impact. So stay safe there. This link is in the description. So please check here and just click on your location, and you'll see the warnings and everything. So stay safe. And now in Canada, we have some big winter storm watches in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and some warnings are in Saskatchewan there. So Manitoba, the winter storm watches here. If you click on it, winter storm is poised to affect parts of Manitoba this week. A strong low pressure system approaching from the south brings heavy snow rapidly accumulating in parts of central western Manitoba Tuesday through Wednesday. So they say more stuff here. So be aware in Alberta, so snowfall warnings in Alberta. So be aware all those locations here, in all those locations, you just click on one, it says snowfall localized amounts 10 to 15 centimeters. So be aware there. If you click on another location, it does show there. And yeah, so be careful. In Nunavut, a blizzard warning, cool glue took, so be careful there. They show blizzard conditions, poor visibility, and blurry snow have developed over the region. And Saskatchewan, the winter storm watch is true. There's snowfall warnings are in Saskatchewan. You click on snowfall, and it shows here the warning. Long period of snowfall, 20 to 30 amount centimeters expected. A bunch of winter storm watches in all those locations of Saskatchewan. If you click here, strong low pressure approaching from the south bring rain, freezing rain, and snow, and strong winds. So be aware of all that snow, freezing rain, and everything. Blizzard conditions possible in some areas. So be careful there. You see more winter storm watches all of those areas. So be aware there. And here, let's see if we get the map bigger. So we have some special weather statements in British Columbia, most of the coast of British Columbia, and some interior parts too. Vancouver Island and some areas for late day Wednesday, peak winds expected Tuesday night. A significant fall storms expected to affect western British Columbia beginning on Tuesday. The low pressure will deepen, and yeah, so please be careful. There'll be some strong winds, very strong, and snow and everything. So this is the same system that will like affect California and Oregon, those areas there, a big bomb cyclone. So be aware. And so here it shows the system, the central US, the severe weather, the snow in the northwest, and there's this big bomb cyclone, as you can see forming there on the Pacific. So it will go, this is Wednesday, the heavy rain in California, the heavy snow in Washington, Oregon, and into British Columbia, the heavier snow there. It shows this system will likely produce some very big wind gusts as well. Then this goes, the snow spreads there all the way to northern central British Columbia into Alberta later on Thursday. Shows more on Thursday some snow in Montana, parts of Idaho, and some areas. And then this goes still heavy rain in California on Thursday. With that front, this goes more rounds of heavy rain by the European model. And then this goes there still affecting Washington and Oregon, California by Friday. Shows more heavy rain and snow there. So this is Saturday, still shows some rain and snow in California, more in Washington and Oregon. Shows a lot of widespread snow throughout Alberta, British Columbia, northern Montana, and those areas. Then this goes there, shows the snow next Sunday 24th, heading towards Saskatchewan and Alberta, more like in North Dakota and Minnesota on the 24th and 25th, all the way to some snow in Ontario, Manitoba later next week. And the European model is bringing another snowstorm to the Rockies and like the central northern plains there on the 26th. But that's very far out, so this still will change a lot. But yeah, be aware of those areas. So the rain accumulation from the European model in like in inches to next Saturday, so it's all the way to 13 inches, 13 and a half inches. Some spots of the mountains, a lot of snow. So be careful that rain and some flooding. And if I put this until the 25th, already shows there's like some 15 inches or more. So stay safe there. Shows more rain across the east, especially northeastern Ohio, some 4 inches. In the south, shows more there. Louisiana and those areas. So be careful. Shows more rain in Atlantic Canada, some close to 100 millimeters in some areas there, like 125. There might be rain or snow. 119, some more in eastern Quebec. So be aware in those areas. Now here, like on the west, shows some rain close to 200 millimeters within Vancouver Island. Some heavy rain there from this bomb cyclone. So be careful. Now the wind is very strong across the central US still. The system goes there, might produce some stronger winds Tuesday in the Great Lakes and some areas there. But this bomb cycle Wednesdays, let's see first around here. So it shows some 106 kilometer per hour gusts. On Wednesday the 20th, across Vancouver Island, shows some other mountain spots in British Columbia, 112, 70, 90 kilometer per hour gusts. So very strong there. Stay safe. This is Wednesday. This goes there. Still some strong winds along the coast, southern Alaska. We are through those areas of southern Alaska. And yeah, so this late Wednesday, Thursday, the low pressure is still around British Columbia, some 84 to 94 km per gusts, especially Vancouver Island. Then this goes there, and yeah, and the European has a second low pressure coming north later. They might produce some more winds on the 22nd, especially on the 23rd. Southern British Columbia close to 100 km per gusts. So stay safe there. The GFS model has this coming true. It doesn't have as crazy gusts as the European, but it does have some very strong gusts too. But let's see the icon shows the gusts better. So it shows there it shows there in British Columbia some more like the 108 km per gust in the mountains. Shows scared around the mountains, southern central British Columbia, some higher gusts there in the south, and shows around the ocean, Vancouver Island, some very high gusts. Wednesday morning, especially Tuesday night, the icons all the way to 128 km per gusts. And it also has more than 60 mile per gusts, southern Alaska, 100 km per gusts, and some northern areas of British Columbia. So you get the idea. Be careful with the winds there. And then now the European model has like not Northern California and Oregon, so like 66 mile per gust, 76, some very high gusts there along the coast, some 54, 58. So be careful there. Along most of Oregon, some 50 mile per gust, 40, especially in the mountains in Washington. So some very high gusts too, some 59, 67. So stay safe there. This goes still some high gusts the mountains of California on like late Wednesday. Goes there and has the second system on Friday 22nd, and Thursday night some higher gusts again there. So stay safe, and I won't dig too much further, if not we'll stay here forever. But does show some higher gusts Tuesday across the plains still, as a part of the Rockies, especially like shows northern plains on Tuesday night, and still has some gusty winds on like Wednesday or something. And that system on the east has like late Wednesday, the system in Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, some snow there, some heavier storms near Maryland and some areas on Wednesday night, Thursday morning. The European does have heavy rain around New York, Pennsylvania, with the low pressure in the Great Lakes there, and it does have some snow in Ohio, more rain there, snow in West Virginia, especially Pennsylvania, and the system goes there. So shows like Friday more rain around Maine, and New England has some rain around Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and more snow in Quebec later Friday there. So yeah, it shows a front like Newfoundland on Saturday. So be aware of those systems. In terms of wind, the European does have some higher gusts later on Wednesday from the system there. Has all the way in Lake Erie some 66 mile per gust. West Virginia has some higher gusts in the Appalachians, and across Delaware and Maryland, some higher gusts too. This goes there. The Europeans some very nasty wind gusts, close to 70 mile per gusts on like the Appalachians on Thursday the 21st. So be aware there. It has some more gusts further south and more areas near Vermont and New York, some higher gusts too. So be aware, this goes there. Might be higher gusts after Friday and Saturday in Newfoundland and Quebec there. In eastern Quebec, northern Nova Scotia, close to 80, 90, even 100 km per gust. Those areas are like northern Nova Scotia and some areas. So be aware. But now for snowfall, like today's Tuesday until Saturday, shows that bigger snowfall, like in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, close to 48 centimeters. The European has 50 centimeters, 20 centimeters. So be aware there. More snow. Ontario until Saturday shows more snow. Central Ontario, even southern Ontario from this event there shows there. It shows more snow like Pennsylvania, Virginia, northeastern Ohio, central Ohio. So we are some 17 inches, some 20 inches in Pennsylvania. So yeah, be aware in those areas. Shows more snow eastern Quebec as well, and like Newfoundland and Labrador, northern New Brunswick, a finger two, and a finger two in New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont. Does show that there's snow like Minnesota, North Dakota, some snow there, and there's snow across like British Columbia, all the way to 200 centimeters. The European has more across southern British Columbia, has some snow there, and yeah, some 20 centimeters more there. It shows yeah, and Alberta, southern Alberta, more snow, and those amounts like in Northern California, the European model, so they just 75 inches or more, more there across the mountains, a lot across central Idaho, Western Oregon, some in Colorado, more northern Montana, or Wyoming, and those areas there. So be careful, the snow, and I won't dig into the temperatures every day too much because it's already late here. But let's just see some temperatures. So does show like tonight into tomorrow, those low temperatures in the Rockies there, close to like some 12 Fahrenheit, some -3 Fahrenheit in Idaho, so like Montana 0 -1, shows northern Utah very cold, some areas of California there. Beware of the wind chills too, might be even colder. So yeah, some 5 Fahrenheit in Washington, Oregon, and shows like Tuesday afternoon, some 70s and 80s in the south, especially southern Texas, but still very cold even during the day there. It shows these like colder temperatures, Colorado. The Europeans all the way to -15 Fahrenheit in the mountains there, but this might be different to the official forecast, but be careful there. In the plains, some colder temperatures too, Montana and Idaho, Utah. So be aware. In Alaska, so like -11 Fahrenheit, -29 Fahrenheit, so very cold there. 10 some areas, a little bit less a day or two in eastern Alaska, but very cold, especially the interior areas there. So this is Wednesday, shows there. Uh, a little bit colder Wednesday morning across parts of New England to New York there, and shows like this is Wednesday. This goes Thursday mornings. The European model shows cold all the way into Nebraska, some 20s, 30s, and more there. Then this goes there, still shows in the Appalachians, some colder temperatures too. So all the way down to northern Georgia, so like 229 in the mountains, and yeah, so be aware of those colder temperatures, the wind chills, and in the warnings page there, you have all the cold weather advisories and everything. Now here in Canada, it does show those very cold temperatures. In Yukon, it's a -31 degrees Celsius. Most of British Columbia has some negative temperatures, -16, -5, -11. Some very south spots like Vancouver, some 2 degrees, but occasionally it might get colder. Show some -1, very cold in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, most of central northern Quebec, and then we see this here, shows a low pressure in Manitoba, that's snow, and colder behind that low pressure, like -11, Saskatchewan, northeastern, northwestern Alberta, all the way to -25, -26, and British Columbia, some harsh cold there, -30 degrees, -34 in Yukon, northwestern territories, very, very cold. Nunavut's the same, but a little bit less than northwestern territories. Shows a little bit less cold across days, but still some very chilly temperatures. The real cold shows out west there. This goes, the cold gradually comes south and east. Friday, Western Ontario shows more, most of Manitoba there, and Labrador and Quebec, those colder temperatures. And like next Sunday, the 24th, already shows most of Canada there, those colder temperatures, some 0 degrees, -2, except southernmost Ontario. Some areas escape there, but very cold. And yeah, especially that storm system will be there with the snow. So yeah, stay safe and warn others.